That is why another core element of our strategy in Syria is diplomatic. A renewed political initiative, broader and more action-oriented than any previously attempted, to isolate the terrorists and set Syria on the path to peace. Now, this possibility was the focus of meetings in Vienna at the end of last month. Meetings that for the first time brought together all the key international interested parties to the very same table. And guess what? It came out with a product. That session produced a communiqué endorsed by every country who attended, countries that don't always agree on much, like Saudi Arabia and Iran, but who do agree that Daesh is evil and that the war in Syria must be brought to an acceptable end as soon as possible. More specifically, the countries represented in Vienna agreed to support Syria's unity, independence, territorial integrity, and pluralistic character. We agreed, all of us, that Daesh and other terrorist groups have to be defeated. We agreed, all of us, that Syria's state institutions should remain intact so we don't have the implosion that we saw in Iraq. We saw, and we all agreed, that the rights of all Syrians, regardless of ethnicity or religious denomination, have to be protected in whatever government comes out. We agreed, all of us, that access for humanitarian relief has to be assured throughout the country, and that will be one of the topics we talk about on Saturday. We agreed, all of us, to increase support for internally displaced persons and for refugees and for the countries that host them. And we agreed, all of us, that the UN should convene members of the Syrian government and the Syrian opposition to develop a plan along the lines of the 2012 Geneva Communiqué, leading to a credible, inclusive, non-sectarian governance followed by a new constitution and by free and fair, transparent, accountable elections run under the supervision of the United Nations to the highest standards of elections anywhere in the world. We agreed on that, all of us. And we agreed to explore the possibility of a nationwide ceasefire to be initiated in parallel with this renewed political process. Now, obviously, such a ceasefire does not include Daesh, because our effort to defeat Daesh and the effort of our partners to defeat Daesh will continue until we prevail. In fact, it is precisely through this political process that we can, for the first time, if it works, marshal the support of the entire international community against a single common enemy, Daesh.